All right, we're live. We'll wait for. Actually, let's roll a let's roll a countdown while we're sitting here. We'll do this. All right. What's up, everybody?
We'll compare muscles.
Yeah, let's compare. Oh, I'm so much more jacked than you. Oh, yeah. I've been doing 2 sets of 10 every day, all day. What's up, everybody? Welcome back into... No, I like to take my glasses off, but then I can't read the comments. So I'm going to leave them on. What do you think? Glasses on?
I'd have to put my glasses on to read those things.
Yeah, but we have different. See, this is far away from me, but it's close for you at the same time. Can you read that from here?
Only if I
that's about the same as me. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody? We have the first comment was Aiden, and then Jack all the way. What's up, man? Manton D1 Heat, Brett E in the building. What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another live stream. Can you guys hear us okay? Let's see. I don't know how the volume is, but this is a kind of an impromptu stream. My dad said he's coming over today, so I said, oh, we can do a live stream. We can make Jaguar content because my dad is always complaining he doesn't have a platform to share his Jag opinions, so that's why we bring him over here. We're switching views. We got the long Jaguar over here. You know, maybe I should just have this. You think during our live streams, I should just get rid of the green screen and just have the... I think I might do that because this looks kind of cool. And it looks more natural. Yeah, I'm going to do that. No more green screen, guys, for the games, okay? I'm going to put the scoreboard down below. We're going to rock with it like that. But welcome, everybody. Are you and Jet Central going to be together for the draft this year? Hell yeah. You already know, man. Jet Central will be over here. We'll be talking. We'll be chatting. We'll be live streaming. We'll be Jaguar and Jet simultaneous streaming. But yeah, here we are. I haven't had... When was the last time you were on the channel?
Live, probably last summer, Jag games, but just...
Yeah. So last time you were on here...
Father's Day.
So last time you were on this channel, we were probably, what, 2-11? Around there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
the weird thing, we only live streamed one victory. The other two, we were coming back from Tampa.
No, you know what's annoying? I was breaking things down, and the last 2 years, because you moved here before 2020, you moved to Orlando, and I
moved during the pandemic.
Yeah,
right when it started.
So of all the Jaguar games I've done, I've live streamed a lot of them, and the Jaguars have won 4 games, and 2 of them I was out of town for them. I couldn't stream them. The Buffalo game, and they won one more.
The Colts.
Oh yeah, Buffalo and Colts. I wasn't able to live stream either of them, and which was annoying because I would have, like, for the Colts game, I wasn't originally going to live stream it, but if I was at home watching, when they started getting better, you better believe I'd pull up and do a live stream, probably maybe on the phone. I would have done something, but there's no way I wouldn't have done that. So whatever. Maybe next year, man, because Dad, we need to start having celebration streams and hype streams instead of just. You know how it goes.
We're good, huh?
Yeah. Big Dog says, dude, super hyped to work with you on a podcast. You're the GOAT. Dude, you already know. Yeah, I put out a message yesterday opening up Relevant for people who want to kind of start a podcast over there. So, I definitely want to get that going. I've had a few different people reach out, so I'll be contacting you guys shortly. Yo, Jaguars United dropping a $20 bomb in here. Best Jags YouTuber, barely. No, I'm the second best, man, only behind you. You do the film breakdowns, I do the live streams where I act like I know what I'm doing.
Hey, Bo.
What's up, Bo?
Bo just had a bath. He's like a little wet, but
yeah,
needs some women, buddy.
What's up, Bo?
He's my buddy.
But yeah, thanks, Jags United. I think Jags United is on the beer flights today. I was on the iced coffee flights. We went to a coffee shop this morning, and this place had iced coffee flights.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. It was a little bit of iced coffee overload. I can only drink so much coffee, but hey, it was good. But thanks, man. D1 Heat says, I think we beat Washington football team week 1. The schedule hasn't come out yet, right? Have there been any leaks? That'd be that game is in Washington, which hell, I'd like an easy week 1 game. I mean, last year we thought we had an easy week 1.
That means we'd be up against
Carson Wentz
again.
Oh man, he'd have some bad flashbacks. Dude, his last game against Jacksonville, that was not great for him. Watched film on Aluakun yesterday, bro. Yeah, definitely. Jags United posted a film breakdown of Aluakun. So if you want to know more about him, definitely go over there. It's pretty sweet. Steve Boston with a $2 donation, and Men and Teal is the funniest. Yeah, they're good guys. They're funny. I wish I could be as funny as the Men and Teal. Maybe if I didn't do it on my own, maybe I'd be more loose and maybe, but
I'd have to come in here drunk sometime and then I could.
Yeah, we need to do a drunk stream sometime. One of these Jaguar games, we'll do a drunk stream. It had to be like a holiday the next day.
When you old like me, you got to pick your spots to drink.
Maybe week 1 this year, I'll get drunk. And every time the Jaguars score, I'll do a tequila shot. And hopefully we score more than 3 points, Dang, my dad's Inspector Gadget, man. He's got people calling him on his watch.
Spam calls.
Oh, okay. I'm getting way too many spam calls, man. Like all these extended warranties. Why are they all like? Why?
Well, the last extended warranty I called, I said, "Yeah, I'll tell you what, my car got repossessed, and if you can, I'll buy the warranty if you can get my car back." And they hung up on me. Or you ask the female what color underwear she has.
No, what I do,
they'll hang up on you then.
Well, sometimes what I'll do is like I'll go through with it all, and then like we'll get to the form of payment, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll pay with a Visa." And like my Visa number is, and I like hang up, and they call back immediately. They're like, "Why did you just hang up on us?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't hang up. I don't know what happened." And then so I just try to like waste their time. But yeah, it's way too much. But Dad, are you excited about the NFL draft?
Yeah, it was coming up. About 3 weeks, something, right?
I think it's 3 weeks from Thursday. So I feel like
you have to ship out day 3.
Yeah, day 3. I'll be going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
But first 2 days I'll be streaming. But day 3 I'll just be making videos. But I wouldn't have been streaming day 3 anyway because it's
too long and
it's too long.
It'd be an 8-hour stream, and what are you gonna?
Yeah, because it's usually from 12 to 6 o'clock, and usually it's it's hard to sit there and watch it all, especially when
the real damage would have been done. But
yeah,
I hope we find a sleeper left guard or something, and
I know
right guard in the
we're due to find
round.
A sleeper. We're due to find a sleeper. Usually our sleepers come in undrafted free agency. Like that's where they usually come. But this year the Jags have it's pretty tough. I don't know. It's a tough schedule because we play the AFC West, but we also play the NFC East. So that kind of like cancels out with each other. But shout out to Chris Campbell for becoming a YouTube member. Shout out to you, man. I'll be making probably a couple weeks. I'll be doing another member-only live stream. And, of course, I got to update the emojis because now Chark is gone. So who do you guys, as members, who do you guys want in place of DJ Chark? And I'll put it in there.
I hope it winds up being Kirk because he's showing out so great.
Well, I hope the best guy is whoever we draft in the second round because Kirk will be the wide receiver 2. Then we have like the outside alpha that just dominates people. That's what I'm hoping. That's what we got to hope.
Just sucks for us this year that there's just not a clear-cut number 1 that we could just get a king's ransom, get somebody's 1 and 2 and 1 for next year or something like that. But
that'd be cool.
There's not that player.
Yeah.
Just not that player this year.
Charlie Boy says, I finally got my house and I recently proposed my GF, trying to catch up like you, UCF, going to deck the house out with Jag stuff in the man cave. Hell yeah. Dude, this is like, you guys, since I started my YouTube channel, I've been in 4 different places in the last 5 years. And being able to get a house and having my own office where I can just do anything I want with the room. Because like back when I was doing YouTube videos in my bedroom, it was like I had to adjust all my stuff to get the camera ready. Now it's like I can get my camera and boom, it's awesome. And I work from home, which I didn't do back then. I don't know what I would do without my home office. I'll be honest with you. But shout out to you, man. That's big stuff. And I think actually, I remember your girlfriend was there when I saw you out in public, out in the outlets that one time. So it's pretty cool, man. Steve Boss with the $5 donation. If Linderbaum makes it to 33 because everybody's replenishing weapons, do you take him a generational center? Well, the thing is, yeah, I mean, ideally you want to obviously get the best player available. You know what I mean? But obviously if like 8 wide receivers go in round 1, then, you don't want to get like your 9th best wide receiver. But hey, if you get a really good, interior guy like that, it's hard to pass them up. It's just, we just got to hope the draft falls to us well where, where guys are, or we're filling holes with value also because, man, but it also seems like every year, like wide receivers, like when you look at the top 5 wide receivers every draft, like rarely is it like that is the first best, that is the second best. It doesn't always work out like that because, man, guys slip through the cracks. I mean, the top receivers this year, I think Tyreek Hill was like a 5th round pick. Devontae Adams was a 2nd round pick. Cooper Kupp was a 3rd round pick. These guys are like all over the place. So we've got to find our guy, man.
It's our turn to get some diamonds in the rough. We haven't had a decent draft other than getting Trevor since
2016. Yeah. And that 2020 draft class, that's what's holding us back. Because when I look at it, like the Jaguars, when the rebuild took place, this year should have been the year that we're pushing for the playoffs and Super Bowl and before the 2020 season, you cleared out your whole entire roster and you went 1-15. Then the year after, you're supposed to do a little bit better, 4, 5, 6 wins. That turned out to be a 3-14 season. Then after doing 4, 5, 6 wins, you're supposed to, get 10 plus wins. That was supposed to be this year. But that 2020 draft class with CJ Henderson, Laviska Shenault, Caleb on Chason, that draft class is holding us back, man, which sucks. Luckily, the 2021 draft class looks pretty decent.
And we're going to know more about that when you were on that members-only chat that night. The one guy said Travis Etienne's family or something was right down the street, and he said he was ready to go. And so that's the first news I'd heard on him in a while.
Yeah.
What was that? I don't remember which member.
It's Reese.
It's Reese.
Yeah. So hopefully, man. And by the way, Allen and Hutch are going to ball out, says Steve Boss. I know, man. A lot of people are really down on Hutchinson. I like Hutchinson. I think people are just like, oh, like big white defensive lineman. He's Taven Bryan, but he's a lot different than Taven Bryan. He had like 70-something pressures last year. I mean, he was a beast out there. And
Georgia had such a better team than Michigan. I mean, you can't.
Well, also and he also couldn't do much because Georgia was getting rid of the ball so quickly that game. It was like there really wasn't a lot of room to, and that's kind of what happens with defensive linemen. Like even like Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl, he was kind of neutralized in the first half. Like, I mean, with these defensive linemen, it's really hard to just constantly be like good. And I think bringing in Hutchinson is going to unlock Josh Allen. I think it's going to help the back seven a lot more. And then, much like what having a really good wide receiver does, like having a guy on the other end of Allen is going to really help Josh Allen out, and having another receiver with Christian Kirk's going to help Christian Kirk out. It's just how the game goes.
I might be crazy for saying this, but Calais Campbell's still out there, man. That's a good locker room guy, and it seems to me like they could sign him even if he was, 2 downs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for it. Why not? I mean, especially, I don't know what he's.
We could probably get him on the cheap, or unless he's holding out for.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
waiting for somebody to get hurt, and then he have to go to training camp.
Yeah, I think he's like a guy that's kind of waiting it out. He'll see what happens in training camp, because at some point, you guys know how training camp or preseason does. Like there's so many guys that just get put on the IR. Maybe he's just waiting on something like that to happen.
He's not hurting for cake.
No, he's definitely not hurting for cash. But maybe he wants to sign with a contender. I don't know. I mean, at this point, probably. But, yeah, that was weird when the Ravens didn't make the playoffs last year. I don't know what happened. I guess they just got so injured. But they were
an infirmary, that's for sure.
They just extended John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. It's like, we've extended John Harbaugh. and that's like we've added to the, we've been able to, what's the word? Not consistent. It's a C word.
Consistent. Yeah, they're trying to stay consistent.
No, they're trying to help me out. They're trying to keep it's like if somebody
continuity.
Yeah, they're trying to keep the continuity over there. It's like, man, continuity. I don't know what the hell that's like. The last year we had the same offensive coordinator in back-to-back years. You know what year it was?
Probably Gus Bradley era.
No, it was 2017, 2018 with Nate Hackett. But then Nate Hackett got fired in 2018. He was the fall guy. And then 2019, you had John DeFilippo. 2020, you had like Jay Gruden. 2021, you obviously had Darrell Bevel. And now we're on to the Press Taylor. So
where Darrell Bevel get a job at?
He's like the Miami Dolphins passing game coordinator.
Yeah, you see, Shoddy got a bone thrown at him by McCarthy, who his dad, Marty Schottenheimer, I guess gave McCarthy his first job. So,
oh yeah,
they Shoddy Juniors with the Cowboys as some passing game analyst upstairs.
Interesting. I didn't know that. But Dad, what do you think about the Jaguars getting the Hall of Fame game? Did that surprise you when you saw that?
Not really, because they haven't been. I don't remember them ever playing in one other than, of course, the inaugural. I could be wrong.
Well, it surprised me a little bit because the Jaguars never get like, it's always like, oh, this game would make sense for it to be that primetime game, but they never the Jaguars just never get the benefit of the doubt with that. So I'm like, oh wow, they're actually. But then at the same time, is like maybe the Hall of Fame game is probably not that great of an honor to get your team to play in it.
Well, it's the Tony Baselli thing, and has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that has everything to do with it.
But I can't. But there are other players. Why they're maybe some of the other players that are going in this Hall of Fame cycle, their team has been there recently or something like that.
Yeah.
The Ken Norton, I think is he's going in. I'm trying to remember they drove around to knock at people's front doors.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you, these players I don't really know very well because a lot of them were like before my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be. I mean, I think it'll be cool when my era players start getting in.
I remember watching Ken Norton's father fight Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the first draft I really, really remember was the Aaron Rodgers draft. Because I didn't really know much, and I was like watching the draft. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Then they're like, oh, this Aaron Rodgers guy is sliding. I'm like, oh, and Alex Smith goes number 1. I just remember it was like, it was like
ESPN used to do the draft. I think it started on a Friday morning.
No, they did. I remember for a while it was like Saturday. It was day 1 of the draft.
Well, I thought it was during the week because I remember when I was in college, Wilbur Marshall got drafted, and I was sitting there waiting to go to class, and I kept watching my watch. I'm going to see when's Wilbur going to go, and then he got drafted, and I was all excited, but I had to get on my bike and go to school, which means it would have been a Thursday, so that would have been the draft of say 1985. I would have to just look. I don't.
Well, I remember
I'm sure we could look it up.
Well, I remember Blaine Gabbert was on a night. I don't know if it was a Friday night or Thursday night, but I remember we were at a bar. Then Connor wanted to leave, and as we left, we got back in a car and turned on the radio, and it was the Jaguars have selected Blaine Gabbert. And it's wait, what? And I guess we traded up to get him.
Where were we? We went
to some kind of Frank Frangie event, and then we were at a bar.
And then we left before the Jags picked?
No, we didn't know. The Jags weren't picking for a while. They were 10 picks away or something.
Oh, yeah, they traded.
And they traded up.
Yeah.
And in the time we were leaving and we got in the car, it was wait, what? The Jaguars are picking?
Yeah.
And it was we picked Blaine Gabbert. And then
it must have been on the south side or something like that at some wing joint.
Yeah, I have no idea where that was. It might have been San Jose or maybe
I dragged you guys to stuff that you didn't really. What do you mean we're going to? How do you go sit and watch the draft?
Well, I never hated doing stuff like that.
I'm sure. Yeah, it was just do something interesting.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let me get my mozzarella sticks and bring my like iPod video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was and I remember one year we went to some draft event one year, and I remember like Dan Hicken was there, and I remember like, oh, I've seen that guy on like TV, and I remember he was like really, really mad at somebody, and I was like, whoa, like, because like you see a TV guy, and they're always happy and jovial, and then like he was like really laying into somebody, like really pissed off. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's kind of scary. But yeah. Robert says that moment changed Del Rio. He didn't want Gabbert. Yeah, that was and I remember mentioning that, and like got like crucified. Like people were like, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's just what
I called the drill a few weeks ago and did not mention your channel."
You called them? I haven't been listening to much 1010XL. I usually listen to 1010XL when there's significant stuff going on, like when free agency is going on. Like especially like when I'm working and I don't feel like refreshing Twitter. I'll just listen to them so they give me updates.
Well, when I wake up right when Hicken comes in, and I put that on and I mute the news and watch the weather, which to see how much I might sweat my butt off that day.
Yeah, I don't watch any local news. Wait, you actually watch the news to get like weather updates?
Just mute it.
Okay.
Orlando news. I go on news for Jackson. I still read about Jacksonville news.
Yeah, I honestly probably more interested in Jacksonville news. Like
for some reason I am. I don't know that much.
I think you're so well versed with the area.
To me, Orlando will never feel like home.
Yeah.
I mean, you own a house here. And you've been here. You went to school here and all that stuff. I just moved for the work thing and the money grab, and you guys happen to be here. So
well, the funny thing is, like,
but I want to be back. I miss me some Heckscher Drive, and golly, the fishing and bass make good shark bait. That's about the only good thing about freshwater fishing.
Well, the thing is, like, if say like because I definitely consider like Orlando home, but say if like the NHL added like 2 hockey teams. They added a Jacksonville team and Orlando team. I'd be a fan of the Jacksonville team over the Orlando team. Yeah. Like I'm just more of I don't know. I think maybe it's because of the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars, the Jaguars are definitely my connection back to Jacksonville. Because if it wasn't for the Jaguars, I don't know when I would ever go back to Jacksonville.
Well, like I remember going to one of those indoor games, and the Predators from Orlando were up there. And even if that Jacksonville team, what's the
the Sharks, team? The Sharks.
If the Sharks came to Orlando, like a playoff game, and we went over there, we'd be pulling for Jacksonville, not Orlando.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah. What's weird is like over in Orlando, like
I missed the Tuesday night baseball game the other night. I didn't miss the Seminole Gator Tuesday night game they'd have annually, and I went to that thing.
Yeah,
I may have even drug you guys there one time. I don't know, but 4-1. But it's always, and that game sells out. That's a fun night.
I just miss like in Jacksonville. Like I feel like everybody likes sports. It's not that way in Orlando. Like I guess maybe your work. You have a lot of people that like sports at your work.
Not really.
Well, I just remember I remember joining when I moved down here. Like, and I joined a fraternity.
They all wore Heat jerseys.
Well, the thing was, not many of them, because, like, in Jacksonville, like, everybody likes sports. So it's like, you're weird if you don't like sports. But over here, it was like, there were a handful of people that would, like, keep up with the NFL and sports. I'm like, this is so weird. And then, like, I remember when I went to UCF in, like, 2012, it was mostly, they were, like, everybody was wearing Heat jerseys because, LeBron was on the Heat back then. They had, like, the big 3. And I'm like, oh, it's like a big Miami basketball town. And then like LeBron left, and like I didn't see another Heat jersey ever. It's like the most, like Miami is the most fair weather like sports thing I've ever seen.
I'll see people wearing White Sox hats because for some reason,
the logo is
that's like a fashion thing. And I'll say, you a White Sox fan? And they're like, no. Well, you're wearing the hat. I love the White Sox. It's just. I like the look.
I wish that is one cool thing about being like a non-sports fan is like if you didn't give a crap, you could just go to Lids and like pick out the coolest looking hat.
Yeah.
But like now, like if we go to Lids, 98% of the hats you have no interest in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they have
doubt.
like
probably more than that,
And that's what's cool about like London fans, like London NFL fans. They can just go to an NFL shop and pick out whatever jersey looks the coolest. But for us, it's like, okay, do they have anything Jaguars here? Oh, they have an old Blake Bortles jersey. They have a Jalen Ramsey jersey. Like,
speaking of that, man, London. Gosh, I hope we play a division opponent. They're not Dallas or something.
They're not going to send Dallas there again.
I want to go to the Dallas game, but that's where we got to get good quick because that 49ers game.
That was bad.
The absolute worst I've ever felt in our stadium.
Oh, man. That was
I was surrounded by left, right, front, and back Niner fans.
Yeah.
And if you watch that game, there's a Google image of it or whatever. And it's there's more red than teal.
Yeah. Like let me see if I can find it on I don't know how to, at UCF.
Remember Blue had one on his like Twitter or something like that. I remember seeing that, but
I took a picture of myself over there. Let's see what to see of. This. Yeah, that's the SNL. Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
Well, ain't no big. Everybody knows what.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, where are all these transplant 49ers fans coming from? Like, I never go out and see people wearing 49ers gear.
We saw a few of them in Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Well, you always see that whenever you drive up, like.
Yeah, but we're like, hey, there are a couple Niners fans. I guess there'll be a couple of them there. We get there, man. I'm telling you, that was 70% Niners fan that game. It seemed like because it was. Oh God.
Yeah, man, that's it.
That's the worst.
And what stinks is like, what are the fans supposed to do? You got to start doing stuff on the field, man. Yeah. Like, there's only so much, and like, look, we remain optimistic. We stick around with the team, but it's like it's just the players are out there getting embarrassed, and then the fans are in the stands getting embarrassed.
Well, when the Jags first started, a lot of people, it was the place to go. Oh, if you're, of course, you were in diapers, but a lot of people that got Jaguar tickets were just, hey, this is a new thing for Jacksonville. Let's go. Then 10 years or so wore off, and it wasn't, the big new thing anymore. So season tickets dropped off. The hope for the Jaguars is, millennials like you, now that we're into the second and soon to be third generation of Jaguar fans take over, and if we have a good team, I know they can sell plenty of seats. And we also have the largest stadium per capita for being a small market team, but because of the Florida Georgia game, when they redid that place, once they put the auxiliary seats in for Florida Georgia, it has to hold 84,000 people.
Yeah, or
they wouldn't have got that game.
Yeah,
so they had to build the stadium with that in mind, rather than making wider seats and deeper, room between the seats and the rows and that. Even though, the average stadium, I think in the NFL is probably maybe 60,000 fans.
Yeah.
And our place holds, if you sell it out, I think 68.
Yeah.
No, probably even more than that. If Florida Georgia they put 84,000 in there for that. I don't know how many auxiliary seats they actually had. Someone Googled that. I wonder what the stadium capacity of what is it? The
TIA.
TIA.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but yeah, like, gosh, and it stinks because now the Bills are getting a really nice new stadium, and it's like, man, like
Shad's all there. They should get one.
But it's like they start winning. It's a really convenient time to get a new stadium when you need a new stadium and your team starts winning. Like, man,
the house that Josh Allen built.
And it just stinks because like the Jaguars are bad, and then like the trickle down effect is like people get this this perspective that, oh, Jaguar fans are bad too, but it's like, no, like we're out there, but it's like of course you're going to see stadium shots, and when we're getting beat by 30 points, there's no one in the stands. I mean, you can't expect people to hang around and watch like bad products, man. Like, I don't know. It's hard, man. And they got to put a lid. Oh my gosh, they need
Yeah, I got a survey the other day from them about.
Yeah, they've been sending out surveys.
What was important one, and I said, heck yeah, put a roof on that thing. If they.
Well, they don't need a roof. They just need a lid, something to block, like a shade to block the sun.
I'll take the roof and the air conditioning all day.
Yeah, I mean that's fine too. But like
but I've been at the one where the Dolphins play, and it's got that shade over there. But when it's freaking hot, it's hot. But there's a difference between.
No, that's what I'm saying. But also
99
the Jaguars,
degrees and the sun on you, and 99 degrees with the sun not on.
But the thing is, the Jaguars are out on the water, so if I feel like if you have a lid over it, you're gonna get some like breeze in there, and then it's gonna feel a lot better. Garrett says, according to Google, average capacity 67,000.
Well, and once again, Florida, Georgia has to hold 84,000 people. I didn't think they could put that many scaffolding seats in there, but
I think that's average capacity in the NFL.
But now they have the Bud Zone doesn't have any tickets. I don't know if they sell any standing room only tickets.
I think when they're good, they might sell standing room only. But right now, like there's so many empty seats.
It seemed to me during the Bills that playoff game, they had some SRO tickets, but people just congregate in the Bud Zone. There are people that are hanging out in the Bud Zone that I don't know if they ever even walk over and look at the field. It's just a place to be seen,
place to be
get hammered.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I do. I mean, there's, if I would go to a game for free, even if I didn't care about them, if I'm not a sports fan, it's just it's pretty cool. The Bud Zone, it's a cool area. Of course, you got to like pregame because beer there is so damn expensive.
Yeah, they're always proud of their beer.
Yeah, they have TIA has like terrible. Do they have like terrible?
The only place in sports that doesn't jack up their prices is the Masters.
Yeah,
you can get a beer for $4.
Yeah,
you can have a good meal, a sandwich or a hot dog or a burger and a Coke or something like that for like $10.
Yeah, Atlanta Falcons.
No, at the Masters
at
that tournament. That's the only place that concessions aren't jacked up. But they sell so much merchandise at the Masters, which is next week. So I'll be locked in Thursday through Sunday.
Are you not
my favorite?
You went to the Masters last year, right? Or the year before?
I went in 1986.
Oh, I thought you got like invited there.
I got invited, but then
was it COVID year?
The COVID, yeah, I didn't get to go during COVID. And then when they played it in the fall, there was no way I was going. But
yeah,
that's a bucket list even if you're not a golfer. Now the thing is, Tiger's over there walking around practicing, but Augusta's it's got a lot of hills and stuff like that, and it's a matter if he can walk that far. Not turn this into Tiger Woods and stuff, but Tiger is always worth talking about as far as but this would be interesting. He's there practicing now, but can he walk 4 rounds in those? If he was riding a golf cart, he could. But I don't know if anybody's commenting on Tiger in there or not, or
I don't think
anybody cares. But just not to.
I give you credit, man. You can watch every single sport. I just like stick to football. I wish the Magic were good. I would watch the Magic, but man, like.
I'd love the Magic to be good because that'd be something to do. Hey, let's go to the Magic game.
I know, it'd be fun.
We get 4 seats for $75. Or whatever. Dude,
it's like, oh my God, they're just so. And I don't know enough about the NBA to figure out why the hell they're so bad every year. But I guess if you're not a Jaguar fan, you'd be like, why are the Jags bad every year? You know what I mean? But golly.
Well, the Jags shouldn't be as far as the NFL, they all have to have a certain cap space, and that it's just comes back to who the hell knows how to draft, and obviously we have freaking we missed the boat on that.
And then
no pun intended with the boat.
And the thing is, I think Balky had a pretty good draft last year and like good free agency and stuff this year, but Dave Caldwell laid a turd on us before he left, man. Like that 2020 draft class was just terrible, and we have to overcome that stuff. We got to. Look, and if the Jaguars are ever going to get better, there's a reason why we suck. and we look back and we look at all the draft classes and they're bad. It's because we're bad because we're not drafting well. And
as a diehard Gator, there I am when we finally in the 2020 draft. I'm down there at the stadium, hanging out, waiting for our draft pick, and we picked 30th or something, or whatever. Yeah,
Taven
Bryant. Here I am, a diehard Gator, and I barely even knew who Taven. I mean, I obviously knew he was, and he was a nose tackle and that, and he made some plays, but he didn't. I was never like, man, this Taven Bryant guy. Well,
that was most Gator fans. Most Gator fans were like, wait, what the heck? Like, okay, I guess we drafted the Gator, but it was like the most like because a lot of times
Lamar went right after him, right?
Lamar went like a couple picks after him.
Yeah, I mean, golly, you talk about screw up a free lunch.
Yeah, but yeah, like, and it's funny because a lot of times you get excited when your team drafts a player from your college in the first round because it's like, oh my god, we have so many cool memories with them. But yeah, Taven Bryan, nobody like he was all potential based, and it's funny now Browns fans are pretty excited about him because they're like, man, look at this guy's potential. This guy's pushes the pocket, and it's like, yeah, we were all saying that too. It just doesn't work out like that.
If the Falcons needed our number one, would you give our first pick if they would trade us Pittman?
Kyle Pitts.
Excuse me. Kyle Pitts.
I mean, they're all the way. I mean, yeah. I mean, wait, you mean the number one pick for Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. Maybe.
Because I remember last year in your channel, everybody wanted Trevor and Kyle Pitts.
Well, I remember last year.
You can't.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember last year, like, everyone kept asking me, I'm like, all right, guys, like, I'm kind of done with this because it's not going to happen. Like, it was like, I'm kind of wasting, like time on this because why should I talk about if it's not going to happen? And then what do you know? Kyle Pitts is the first non-quarterback to go.
But if there was a team that wanted our number one and they already had a player, I'm not saying trade back or something like that, but is anybody going to come at us that knows that we have a particular position of need and say, hey, we will give you this stud or whatever? Let's say Aaron Donald, not that it's going to be Aaron Donald, but that type of an impact player that wants our number one.
Yeah, I would.
It's maybe a 3-year veteran that's just an all-pro every year.
I think I would listen to
that type of player.
I think I would listen to offers for like a defensive lineman, like if someone was coming at me with Chase Young or, like you said, Aaron Donald, or like wide receiver, like if you're gonna trade me like a wide receiver, like an upper tier wide receiver, then I would definitely listen. But I don't know if I'd be trading for a safety and safeties, like safeties, like great safeties are just like they're always all over the place. Like Tyrann Mathieu's out there available. He's been on a bunch of teams. Like it feels like some of the best safeties out there. Like they don't stay on one team for forever. It's like a weird position.
Chase Young would be the ultimate. I love that video where with Mike Tomlin said, I hope I'm never on a bad enough team where I could draft you.
Yeah.
What a great line.
Yeah, it was a pretty good line. Yeah, and he tore ACL last year, so he was like out. It was funny because like Uche Nwaneri had Jack Del Rio on his channel a few weeks ago, and it was like funny because they were like, like he was kind of talking about Chase Young a little bit, but I gotta send you the link because there was this one point where he was talking about like one thing like Jack Del Rio didn't know is that like, and he figured out mid-season is like, I guess after they would like win games, they would all like go to like this like strip club or whatever. And then one time, like a couple of them got arrested, and then like Jack like figured it out and he like exposed everybody in front of the team. I forget exactly how the story goes. I know I'm butchering it, but I'll have to drop you that link. It's like pretty funny. Those are the stories I like to hear. Like the former, like not like, oh, what was it like going against this guy? I like to hear like behind the scenes stuff, like the stuff that doesn't, the personal stories and the stuff that doesn't like get out there in the news.
I can't even really. The only strip club I remember in Jacksonville, I'm sure there are a bunch of them, was Wacko's.
Yeah.
They did have good burgers in that place, which means I've been there before. But I definitely wasn't a regular.
Yeah. What's it called? Somebody asked you who you would pick number one overall. Because you're a draft prospect expert, right?
No, I mean, I haven't studied it enough to. I my goal. I want Kyle Pitts. I want us to give up our number one. And
but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I kind of said that to people on my last video. I was like, okay, like
since they are, I mean, it's going to be Hutchinson unless somebody. It's 100% going to be Hutchinson unless somebody offers us just an unbelievable deal.
I feel like just Hutchinson is going to be able to help unlock this defense. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Arden Key and maybe Josh Allen. Then that the more players you have, you can't block them all.
Yeah,
that's the.
I mean, it's like you have the like treasure chest. You just need to put the key in and turn it. You know what I mean? I just feel like that key can be Hutchinson, and then if we can find ways to help unlock Josh Allen, you actually are getting pressure on a quarterback on third down, and causing some turnovers because we haven't been getting turnovers until unless we're in the games where we're actually forcing pressure on a quarterback. Like we had a couple of picks against Carson Wentz. There was like even Josh Allen, we were intercepting, and it's just we got to get pressure on the quarterback.
We had to have less turnovers than anybody.
Oh, we were like, when it comes to turnover differential, we were like by far the worst. Like I think with turnover differential, which is like turnovers that we forced on defense versus turnovers that we made, we were like 8 turnovers more than like the next team. Like, let me see. NFL 20.
Well, the Colts game is really the only one I remember with us bouncing on a loose ball, and we couldn't.
Yeah, like we were minus 20 in turnover differential.
Yeah,
and the next worst team was the New York Jets with minus 13. Oh my, that is a huge. That's a huge difference, man.
Ball out. I mean, that's
a ridiculous difference.
Depending on field position, let's say that our deficiency there, if that had been at that 30-yard line, that's 3 points or something, or hopefully 7, and turnovers, man.
God, you got it. And they just
the big games.
They just they change momentum. They get you the ball in like good field position. And it's just such a difference maker, man. And like there were so many games where we just weren't forcing them. And man, and that's what sucked about last year. Because last year I wasn't sitting there being like, okay, make the playoffs, win every game. But I was sitting there, I was like, at the very least, I'm going to be able to see Trevor Lawrence progress. And our coaching staff did not allow that to happen because Urban Meyer was the worst head coach in NFL history.
We need to hire Peanut Tillman as a special consultant and let him coach during the week or something to teach those guys. That kid could knock a ball out. I mean, he's never.
Well, nowadays all the coaches are kind of coaching that. Now you see that a lot more with people punching the ball out.
Yeah. Well, you got to have a couple people around the ball to do that. When Peanut Tillman did it, it wasn't a one-on-one where he's got him up here. Somebody else has got him. Then Peanut Tillman came flying in there and punched the ball out.
Yeah.
It was rarely a one-on-one tackle where he could do that. But if somebody had him under control, that's where Fred Taylor used to get hurt when, they called him Fragile Freddy. He'd always be trying to get that extra yard when one guy's got him by the ankle, someone's got him here, and he's still leaping forward.
Yeah.
And then he gets whacked by the third guy because his body's wide open. Mm-hmm. I remember, just go down, Fred. If they got you, just go down.
Yeah. DJM asks, what are your thoughts on Coach Peterson and his free agency moves?
Well, Mike Peterson is with the Gators, but coaching with the Gators, but Doug Peterson, which we're obviously talking about, I think of Mike P as a Jacksonville, and I hear the name Peterson. Peterson and Peterson are too close together, and
Well, we're talking about Coach Doug Peterson in this case.
Well, I guess we'll know when they start flashing, but we got a tight end. What's his name? The
Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. He was with the Giants. He flashed before, but Kirk is the one that we've paid all that money for, and I hope he's worth it.
I'm scared with Kirk because I think people are, because of his contract, there's a lot of unreal expectations on him.
Yeah.
And like it's almost going into a situation like
it's like Taven Bryan wasn't his fault he was overdrafted.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like Evan Ingram, for example. Like Giants fans hate Evan Ingram. And because he's a first round pick and there's all these expectations on him. And now he's with the Jaguars, and I don't think the Jaguar fans are really expecting much out of him. And if he doesn't do a lot, they're not going to hate him.
Well, we got somebody that can get him the ball. I want a beefed up offensive line, and I want a rush end. You know, and that's the Travis Etienne's going to be a wild card for us this year.
I want to see him.
See what he brings, but the free agent moves. I mean, we signed a bunch of dang people. That's for sure. Who's going to? I hope they all flash.
Yeah.
The one at the end, though, Arden Key, the first thing I thought when I saw him was, okay, so we got one more guy that can free up Josh Allen. And I think Smoot, too. Smoot's may play better this, because we can maybe rotate a little bit. We definitely have more depth there.
Mm-hmm.
We gave up so many drives last year that were long. Think of that opening San Francisco drive. Our guys were just
they
were gassed in the first. Oh my!
But was that drive a win though? Because they only got 3 points on that drive.
It was
the thing that sucks is like
win on when we got the ball back on second down.
And Viska fumbles.
Laviska fumbles. It's 10-0 before I went to take my first leak.
God, that
game was over.
Oh, my Jag games last year were just terrible. Well, actually, I'll kind of take that back because I went to 3. I went to Houston week 1, which is obviously terrible. I went to Seattle, which was terrible. And that 49ers game was terrible. But I remember the Jaguars-Texans game at home. I was like watching it and I was like, do I really want the Jaguars to win this? Because you get into because like when I look back on the 2021 season, our wins were pretty awesome. Like we needed that Miami win because we needed to break the streak. It was early on. We needed that win. The Buffalo win was fun because you beat a good team. You 69'd them. That was cool. And then the Colts win was awesome because it was week 18. You knocked them out of the playoffs. It didn't hurt your draft spot. There were so many good things about it. But I feel like if we beat the Texans this year, I'm not sitting here like, whoa. That was all we would have done was, first of all, if we would have won that game, looking back, we wouldn't be drafted number 1. You'd be at that moment, then Texans would have one less win. So I think they might I don't know where they're drafting this year. I think they're drafting 3, but maybe they have a higher pick. I was sitting there, I was like, do I want to beat a divisional opponent just to help their draft spot and hurt ours? And it was the same thing with the Jets game. When the Jets game was going on, the Jaguars had the ball, first and goal or whatever, and they could have scored. But I was sitting here, I was like, do I want to beat a Jets team that's being coached by Ron Middleton, that has all these guys out on the COVID list? That doesn't feel like a quality win. And then luckily we did lose that game, but we just gotta get. I want to get out of that point where I'm sitting here debating, is it better to win or lose? That time needs to stop, man. It needs to stop.
I was so certain when the 3 of us showed up in Houston.
Oh yeah,
that we were winning that game. I was still under the urban influence and thinking how great he was in college, and that we were just going to go in there and just beat the snot out of them. Oh my God!
And I remember
that's 2 guys behind us. They weren't mean about it, but they said, "Man, you guys really suck because we're horrible."
Yeah, everyone around, all the Houston fans around us were shocked that they were winning.
Yeah,
and then I remember I accidentally forgot the Jag flag at home, and you were so pissed because you were thinking we'd be hanging it over the thing, and because we'd be winning by so much. But no, we didn't need that flag.
No, we were on the first row of this mezzanine, just unbelievable seats,
sweet
30 yards.
Because we were up
we were
level,
to
hang it.
Yeah, we were on the mezzanine, but the first row, so we would have been able. It was bringing wire ties, so I could tie the flag around the pole there because I checked out the seats on SeatGeek or whatever, zoomed in. So that's where
I forgot the flag.
We were gonna, because we took that thing out there in Denver, and I remember the wind was blowing stuff when we kicked that game-winning field goal. I had that flag up like that, and the wind was blowing it wrapped around my head. Then Connor had to say, "Hey, the flag's upside down." And then those guys giving you shit going down. Oh, it was too good.
Yeah.
So we're 2-1 on our
away games are so much fun when you win, but you feel so stupid when you lose. So it's like I really am surrounded by like 90% winners, and like we just sucked.
I've had good luck on road Gator games, so I didn't have that bad feeling. But I haven't done a road Gator game in so long that
When was the last time you did a road Gator game? I don't ever remember you. What was it, in the 90s, 2000s?
I went in the 90s.
But when was the last one you went to?
Probably the week before you were the true road game. Well, I went to FSU a couple times.
Well, college road games are harder because like they're not in like big cities.
South Carolina, right before you were born, we went up there. That was in the Spurrier area, and of course they beat the heck out of them. Tennessee a few times, but it's been a while since I've done a true Gator road trip.
Well, it's harder with college football because when you go to an NFL road game, every NFL team has an international airport right next to them.
Yeah.
But college, it's like, I don't know where like Baton Rouge is probably an hour away from a closest airport.
Baton Rouge has an airport. It's it's a.
Was it like a regional though, or is it international?
Yeah, it's a regional.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive as hell to fly out there.
Yeah.
And then and then if you want to go to like Georgia, like Athens, that's just
Atlanta. It's an hour and 15 minutes from Atlanta. So
yeah. And I'm all about flying places, especially in Orlando. Orlando has really cheap flights, man. I bought my tickets to go to Minnesota were like $150.
And then that Sanford airport with Allegiant, my buddies want me to come up to Asheville, like $100 round trip from there to Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Maybe summertime when it's 180 degrees here, it'll feel good to go up in the mountains and swim the golf club. Yeah. It's so hot in the summer. I put my golf clubs away from frickin' basically May 1st to October. Just can't
really enjoyed the summer, the winter this year, because it's just because man, it gets so hot, man.
And we only had one night that got into the low 30s here.
God, I wish I had a pool.
Tonight's going to feel good. Tonight it'll probably be in the 60s.
I wish I had a pool. That'd be cool, because then I might actually enjoy the heat, because I could just jump in the pool. But one day that's on the list of, I could get my CPA license. I got to start making that money. I got to get more subscribers.
Think about this. What I just gave Uncle Sam, you could have fucking.
Yeah, that's true. I could have. I need to double my subscriber and view count so I can cash in for my YouTube, and I can just get all the things I've ever wanted in life. That'd be sick. What's it called?
Do I look better on the camera? I've dropped about 20 pounds, fellas.
Yeah, my dad's been
shirt. I bought this shirt this summer because to fit my fat belly, and now I got all kind of room going.
My dad's been eating a lot of healthy choice, slim fast diet.
Healthy choice. No, it's called I got a dang kidney stone, and I didn't eat much for.
Oh, is that why? Don't put it back on, man. That's dead weight. You don't need a flat tire over here. All right, we'll be live for 6 more minutes, get a full hour. I like to do hour live streams. Some people, they'll stream for 6 or 7 hours. I don't know how they do it.
We should be fishing, what do you say, by the river?
JR Fly says we should be fishing by the river.
Yeah.
I'm not a fisher. I don't like fishing, man.
I love it.
I am too in
salt water.
God, I'm so impatient for fishing, man. And it's just not me.
Do you ever fish in Sisters Creek? Is that the fellow who
JR Fly?
JR Fly, yeah.
He's a member of the channel.
Big in Sisters Creek, man. Redfish. I got a couple in flounder. I got a couple of special sweet spots up Sisters Creek.
Yeah.
I can't miss her. Incoming tide, man. Get my little Z-Man out there and do some jigging.
Yeah, out in Orlando, there's freshwater fishing kind of sucks, right? Unless you just
I just don't. If you get something big, it's either bass or
that's the thing
catfish.
Is, you like to fish so you can eat the fish, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't really like to fish just to catch and release.
No, well, I mean that's fun too. But man, when you catch a doormat flounder, I brought a couple doormat flounder here, and they all chowed it up.
It was nice when you live in Jacksonville. I'd come visit you. You'd have like a fresh caught flounder. You'd like treat us all nice.
Yeah.
Now you come here with like chicken tenders. Here you go, guys. Yeah. I'm like, where's the flounder, man? Yeah. Where's the fresh caught? Kika says St. Lucie River, Treasure Coast.
Yeah.
You know where that is?
St. Lucie. If you get south of Sebastian, you can get snook down there. The snook don't go as high up as Jacksonville. If they do, it's rare, but usually, maybe some St. Flagler, you can start getting into snook, but Sebastian for sure. But St. Lucie, you've got nice intercoastal there, so there's redfish and trout and flounder you can catch in the back. I like the backwater stuff.
J.R. Fly says that he's by South Padre Island. You know where that is? It's like in Texas, right?
I thought South Padre was like, that is. I think that's a spring break spot.
Yeah, South it's in Texas.
Padre. Yeah, then
that's near like.
Well, I didn't know if we had some local guys on here that know.
Yeah, it's like southwest of Houston.
Yeah, there's some big fish.
I'm surprised I knew that.
They have those.
I'm like,
you do it because because of the spring break stuff. South, so that's what made it famous.
No, you know what me is like. I just know a lot of random geography because I'll go on Google Maps and just like fucking go all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Google Maps are cool.
Like I just like playing around with Google Maps. I don't know. And I'll go Street View and I'll just be like driving around like Oregon. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like remember I would like send you pictures of your car. I would like try to find like where my dad is on Google Maps. And I'll like send him pictures. Like I sent him a picture of his old Cadillac. And I'm like, is this your Cadillac? He's like, yeah, where'd you see that? I was like, oh, I was reading this report about a big drug bust and I saw your old car there. He's like, what? Charlie Boy says, have you fished in the Panhandle?
I think when I was a teenager, we were over there and went, did some offshore and caught a couple grouper and stuff. But growing up in Sarasota, I was in the Gulf of Mexico all the time. Sarasota, and, the Panhandle up there, really the same water. It's just how far you have to go out to get to some type of blue water. But
what's the best fishing in Florida? Guy. What's the best like
the Keys? No, there's.
Well, I mean, like I guess the Keys, yeah, but I was just mean like offshore fish, like not having to drive a boat 30 miles out in the ocean.
Tampa Bay has got a million places, especially on the Skyway. Boca Grande is where the tarpon are, but that's good fishing down there. I mean,
it's kind of freaky being in the middle of Tampa Bay. It's like a big thing of water.
Yeah,
man.
it's big.
And they have like hammerheads out there a lot, I think.
Yeah, I saw the April Fool thing. Someone put a bunch of hammerheads right off the coast of Clearwater Beach or something. So don't go swimming. I mean, they're like right there.
Wait, like someone actually dumped sharks?
No, it was an April Fool's thing. Don't go in the water at Clearwater Beach. These hammerheads were there yesterday. It shows like 8 hammerheads, 4 feet off the shore.
Yeah, they've done stuff where like they'll have like they'll be in like a South Florida and they'll have like do like zoom outs on a like a drone and they have all these just like sharks all over the place.
Yeah, they've got these. They've been catching these great whites. There was one in the Gulf of Mexico that was an April Fool's, and that they've spotted, and that it only registers and pings when his dorsal fin breaks, because that's where when they do the catch and release with these great whites. The thing's up in Nova Scotia, and a year later it's in the Keys or something like that. Man, those things go on the move.
Brandon says Sarasota, the prettiest beaches I've ever seen, and I grew up at Jack's Beaches.
Yeah, I grew up on the beach in Sarasota. Pretty spoiled kid.
What about Lake Okeechobee? Would you ever go fishing there?
I have no desire. I've been on. What I have done in Lake Okeechobee is dune buggy races.
Yeah,
that was closer to a little town called LaBelle.
Yeah,
I went with some buddies of mine that had dune buggies. Man, it's just things.
Oh, look, this guy's right in your area. ID says Huguenot Park on Heckscher Drive. Good drum run and white fishing. That's where he used to fish. Yeah. Heckscher Drive.
Yeah.
Right at that little RV
Sisters
post.
Creek.
Yeah.
Go up Sisters Creek away. Huguenot Park. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there. I mean, when you drive down that road, everybody's like fishing on the bridges and stuff.
When you go all the way up Heckscher Drive and get out towards the base, you go over that bridge and all those dunes are back there. You don't feel like you're in Jacksonville. You feel like you're in the Cayman Islands or something. It's just so.
And you go all the way out there.
Oh man, it's
like no one's at the beaches either, which is kind of nice. Like
at least when the beaches aren't that crowded. Yeah.
Well, it's because no one knows about it.
Yeah, I felt guilty. I never drove y'all out there. I didn't even know it was really there because Jacksonville's so spread out, and I'm not a beach guy.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, guys, we're probably about to head out. It's been an hour. Jerry Jackson says, "Can we win 10 games this year?" Yes, absolutely. We're gonna do it. But all right, guys, thanks for being here. I know we were just talking.
Jags, well, next time I'll see you guys Thursday night. NFL draft
with the first pick the Jaguars select, and then we don't pick again.
My White Sox will be in first place by then. Opening day for baseball's Thursday, baseball fans. So next time I see y'all, my White Sox will probably be 15-2.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. Have a good night. Drop a like on your way
Jags.
out, and peace.